Bienvenue. Les aventures de Frank et Ben. Cinquième série, Frank and Ben go to Lac de Plaisir with Geneviève and Menot. Douzième histoire, Frank and Ben go to Lac de Plaisir, part 12. What a strange thing it is for Frank, when canoeing some time later with Geneviève. Menot and Ben are now back at Frank's cottage, telling his parents, who have just arrived, all about their day. He hears that Menot has a morbid fear of lake water. "But how can that be?" he exclaims in surprise. "She's been out on lakes with her father ever since she was a child." "Being out on a lake is not a problem for her," answers Geneviève. "It's being in a lake, or rather, the thought of ending up in one." She then goes on to tell him about a horrible thing that happened when Menot was only 3 years old. It was while her father was on a trip to South America to photograph the highest lake in the world. He had rented a cottage right beside it, and in a moment's inadvertence, I think he was tied up with a visitor, Menot managed to slip out the back, and with no one to see her, toddle towards the lake and even get right onto the dock. When Frank asks her what happened next, Geneviève goes on, "Well, she fell off it, Frank, into the water. She almost drowned. It's the luckiest thing her father missed her when he did, was because if he'd gone outside 2 or 3 minutes later, he wouldn't have been met with the horrible sight of seeing his daughter floating in the water face down. He would have been struck with a tragedy that probably would have affected him for the rest of his life."